Instagram, Facebook, welcome. Thank you for jumping on today. We appreciate you taking the time to stop in and say hello. We're answering any questions you might have on liposuction, fat transfer, BBLs, how to eliminate that hanging belly without a tummy tuck. And it's not magic, kind of magic, but not really. What's up? What's up? Say Desiree, Miss Dreams, Juicy Gems, Miss Claudia, Monica Eaton, welcome.
Monica, what's going on? Long time no hear from you. Hope you're doing well.
So Facebook, if you guys have any questions, we're happy to answer. If you're interested in liposuction, one of the biggest things that you need to start considering is how you're going to maintain the results that you get after liposuction. What we found is that this is not just a one-time procedure. You get the procedure and everything is great after that. It's a matter of getting the procedure and it's jump-starting your life. Starting your changes. You got to transform your life and start living a healthier lifestyle that is equivalent or it gives you the ability to maintain the new body that you have. So if you come at us with a large frame and we are able to make you thinner, having an hourglass figure, and lose that belly all completely, you can't continue living the same lifestyle that got you to that place. You have to change your lifestyle. That's the mistake that many people make. So you can follow our stories on the Facebook group, the private Facebook group, My Shape Lipo Support Group. It's on Facebook. If you're not on the group yet, definitely go in there and enter that group. What's up, Ashley Brown? See, Ashley says, if you had lipo before, can you get the same areas done? And if so, is it more painful the second time around?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
That's considered a revision.
That's exactly right. And I think Granville on cue probably has a couple of, do you have a couple of picks up some revisions, Granville?
I have a revision for you.
Okay, yeah, so it's not easy. After you do your first procedure, we want scar tissue to form in the area where we took out the fat initially. We want scar tissue to form between the skin layer and the abdominal wall. So if you decide that you don't want to maintain your results for whatever reason, and you decide, okay, well, let me try and do round two. I think it'll be just easy. It was easy the first time. It's actually not. I mean, it's hard work for both he and I, okay? It's a little more uncomfortable. That's actually not a revision. Throw the other one on. The older, she's like 50 something, the one that I'm referring to. Yeah, so we have to deal with a lot of scar tissue, and it's tough to get through. I mean, we can get through it. Don't get me wrong. There are no shortcuts when it comes to revision. It's some intense work, but yeah, absolutely, we can do it.
I don't have that.
You don't have that?
So in my experience with revisions, we've done over the years quite a few. Unfortunately, they have not been my procedures. I've only done, man, very few of my actual procedures. Patients do we have to do revisions on. It's usually a lot of other practitioners that don't take out enough fat or take it out irregularly. So the short answer is yes, it is possible, but with the scar tissue, it does make it more difficult, and that's kind of the wild card. We don't know what to expect. So doing a procedure on someone who's already had liposuction is usually not as fruitful as it is in the first procedure. So typically, Ashley, what I would recommend is again, as mentioning what I said before, you have to maintain the results, meaning if you maintain the same weight, then you should get the same results. So if you don't have the same results that you did when you first had the procedure, then perhaps losing 10, 15, whatever weight that it was that you need to get back to, and you'll be able to maintain the same results.
Yeah, I just said that to Granville. I forgot that we're using this phone for the broadcast.
Okay, let's see. Okay, what's the downtime for 360 lipo?
And that depends on your body. Some people are able to get back functioning within a day or two. Some people it takes a little longer, but on average we found like 3 to 4 days, and you're back to getting back into work, getting your activities of daily living down. Yeah, you need your body. It's pretty intense, this abdominal 360, and what we're doing, we're absolutely transforming your body So you need to count in for a couple of good days of rest.
See, Juicy Gems, the official Juicy Gems. Okay, you said you had a gastric bypass 3 years ago. You know that we're not a fan, but you did it before you knew. That's okay. It's still doing well, keeping the weight off, but the back fat won't go away. Would lipo be good?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, no, I mean, lipo is good for removing fat. So if you have fat that remains, it's definitely, we can remove it. You know, obviously you've heard us talk about this before, and one of the reasons I don't like it is just that when you lose a substantial amount of weight, you tend to have more connective tissue and less fat, which makes it more difficult to get that remaining fat out. But it's still possible, and everybody's a little bit different. This is, I can't use generic rules that cover everyone, so that may not be you, but we can definitely help, and you know, we just deal with what we have to deal with. But I applaud you for going out and doing something. You know, just do something. Try and change your life and get serious and committed.
Oh, Stacey's throwing, you know, the offer to Ashley about sending out a diet plan or a meal plan that's probably going to help her get healthier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So thank you, Stacey, for doing that.
Stacey's over on the Facebook page. Gloria Costa says, it's nice to see you both before my procedure date, which I am all excited for. Can't wait to see you next month.
So Jordan32 Archuleta says, hey guys, I had a consultation today, but got scared. I read a bunch of bad reviews on y'all, so I didn't answer when you guys called. I still want to get the surgery. I was just freaked from the reviews. Listen, Jordan, you know, if you look up everybody's, you know, official page when it comes to surgery, there's going to be some bad reviews. I would assume you probably jumped on Google or Yelp. Listen, that's why we created the support group, okay? Not so we can control what content is there. We want all of the content to be positive, but so you can connect with actual patients and you can talk to them directly about their experience, and you can see what type of, you know, experience they had and why it was good and why it wasn't good, and you know, you can direct message them, and you know, it's basically there's no computer programs, there's nobody catfishing anybody. I mean, it's just you and whoever you want to connect with, you can get real-time information.
Yeah, so I agree. You know, I think that you know, some of the public reviews, first of all, you have to realize, anytime a person is leaving a public review, if they're unhappy, they'll utilize public forums to take advantage of companies. There's also issues with competitors are going on there and leaving negative reviews that are fake. There's people that it's just, they're not well regulated. So when we have our private Facebook group, you can actually connect with real people, and you can see their actual pictures, and you know, connect with them. Since it's a public forum, you can connect with them directly through their private messages. And since you're on this live here, there's a lot of our previous patients, like Stacey's over on the Facebook page right now, and she's had multiple procedures with us, and you can connect directly with these people. So I'm sorry that you were scared.
It's normal though.
Yeah, it's
absolutely normal. Yeah, we all do that, right?
But you know, we've done over 15,000 procedures, and you can't imagine that every single person is happy. You know, it's been for me over 15 years now. So there's definitely going to be some people. I mean, this is a numbers game, and you know, unfortunately, most of the people are very happy and get great results.
Sure, Jordan. So listen, what I really want to point out to you is, if you look at our private support group, there's a couple of names that keep popping up. There's, I mean, I don't know, maybe a dozen, maybe 20. Okay, and they're names that have been in the group for a while, and they continue to add value and content. We really appreciate that from them, and you know, that's just a testament to how we kind of create this experience. This experience. So, you know, if you have any reservations whatsoever, like, just these are people that we're not paying them to jump on the group and say anything. They just want to, because they were so happy with the way their life changed, and they want to help others. And this is a form by which they can do that.
And another thing I'd point out about any reviews is, keep in mind that one person's experience is not your experience. And there's no way to predict your experience. There's plenty of people that have great experiences. So if a minority of people have a poor experience, that's just minority, and it's going to happen.
And the Facebook group, you have to go on Facebook, My Shape Lipo, and then there's a little tab that says groups. You have to click on the groups, and then you have to go to the actual support group. It's a private group. You have to answer some questions, and then you have to get approved to join in. We do that so that it can be, so the information can be, kind of guarded, semi-guarded, right? We don't want everybody seeing it, but yeah, so jump on there and please feel free to ask as many questions as you can.
Ashley says that she definitely didn't maintain the weight, and you're not as curvy as we made you back then, and you also need to get the panels done again. So Ashley, and I'm going to use you as an example because this is what I've been telling people that I have personally noticed over the years, is that the people that get the absolute best results are the ones that are able to maintain their weight or lose weight after the procedure. That's the ideal. So the fact that you weren't able to, and now you're in a situation where you feel like you have to, or you want to do more procedures. So again, the people that are able to keep their weight at equal or lose weight after the procedures will get the best results. So those of you that are considering getting this procedure, use Ashley as an example that if you allow yourself to get overweight and allow yourself to get away from maintaining your results, then you're not going to maintain the results. It's not, there's no way for us to keep you the way you are unless you do the work yourself.
Yeah, and listen, you're not unique if you've had a procedure and you've put a little bit of the weight back on. That's just normal. Human beings do that, and we have to consistently remind ourselves to get recommitted to our health. And I have to do it on a daily basis. One of the things that I like to do is, Granville's seen me, you've seen me. I take whatever, if I have a little break in the day, I pop down and I do some push-ups, okay? It gets the blood flowing to my brain, it makes me feel alive, and it also creates a sense of accountability that I have to maintain and be healthy throughout the day. So it's something a little trick that I like to do.
So Elizabeth says, I did thigh lipo a month ago and my inner thighs, but the fat bulk is still there and my skin is getting wrinkled in that area. Why I don't like it. Okay. I mean, those words, I hear the words, but I don't know what you mean. So it would, the picture would say 1,000 words and make me understand what you're talking about. Because every time we do liposuction, fat's removed, the bulge gets smaller, and whether you still have something there, we're not eliminating your whole inner thigh. The skin's still there, and there's going to be some fat underneath there, so you're going to have something there. So we have to take a look at it and see if it's something that's abnormal or if it's something normal.
So that's probably like one of the things that's like, I don't know, you can't really argue with this procedure. Like,
oh, she went somewhere else.
Oh, okay. When you're on our table and we work on you, you actually see the fat come out into containers, mm-hmm. Okay? And then at the end, you can see all of them. And so you can see that the fat is actually removed. I think maybe some of patients get duped and they go under the general anesthesia, and then they come to in the recovery and they're like, oh yeah, we took a bunch of fat out, and they go home, they're like, well, they really didn't do anything, and you can't verify. But by doing this tumescent liposuction, you're awake the entire time, and you can see the results before you leave.
Yeah, and I keep saying this: it's impossible. It's impossible to not see the results when you take out the amount of fat that we take out. It's impossible. Mm-hmm. So, and it's not that, and it doesn't take 6 months. I mean, like literally immediately while you're on the table, you're going to be smaller every single time.
Like over the course of a couple of hours, we're going to completely change the way your body looks.
Okay. And, Elizabeth, I'm sorry that, you went to someone else and you didn't get the results that you want. If like, as I was saying earlier about revisions, we do a lot of revisions for people who go to other doctors and enough fat is not taken out and they're not happy with the results. And so we have to fix that. And so it is possible. It's just it's not as easy as the first time.
So I would assume this pic is probably like mid-procedure. So
yeah.
This one's been worked on, okay, and this one has yet to be worked on. So there's absolutely no way that you can fake this while you're on the table. Mm-hmm. Like you We can't go in there and run our instruments through and say, oh yeah, we did it, without you actually visually seeing the results.
Right. And just as a cool story, earlier today we did a procedure. We took out a bunch of fat on this young lady, and afterwards I was observing her from a distance, and her husband came in. I don't know if you saw this, but she was crying. She was so happy. She couldn't believe that her belly was gone. And before the procedure, she was asking me. She was super nervous and anxious, and she's like, she's asked me, is this really going to make a difference? She's big girl. Is this really going to make a difference? And I was like, look, lady, you obviously don't follow us on our private Facebook page, because there's many women just like you that have huge dramatic change, and the belly fold goes away on all of them. So she wasn't on the group. She didn't know. She hadn't done her research.
Well, she just recently joined the group, I think is what she said.
Yeah.
So she hadn't had time to look at all of the stuff. But.
So so this is just something that, for me, it was cool to see that when she realized that what she always wanted had actually happened already. The emotions were overwhelming for her.
Yeah, and we've had that reaction quite a few times where, oftentimes when you're on the table for a couple of hours and we're trying to get fluids into you, you're going to have to use the restroom. You're able to get up and walk to the restroom. We've had a lot of patients come out of the bathroom in tears thinking, oh my gosh, I never thought I could look like this. I never thought I could ever lose this weight. So that is part of the allure and the attraction on why we do this, is because, we get instantaneous results and we get to change people's lives immediately.
So Olivia says that she's currently doing the keto diet because all the doctors she asked in Mexico said for her to do that. She just had gastric bypass, and she'd like to get a consultation.
Absolutely. Jump on the job form, jump on our website, submit some photos, submit some information, and we'll schedule a time to where we can talk and we can discuss what your goals are, what your aspirations are, and kind of discuss this whole process and see if it's a right fit for you. I mean, we help a lot of people on a daily basis, and it's fun to do. So yeah, please reach out. Crystal Rowlett says, is there an age limit or requirement? I'm going to say no. I mean, basically, are you healthy? Is this something that's going to benefit you? Are the risks higher or less than what the benefits are going to be? Then if that's the case and you're a healthy candidate, regardless of how old you are, we can do liposuction on you.
Everybody on Facebook, if you take a moment, hit the share button, I'd appreciate it. Get this information out to your friends and family. If you know anybody that may have this big belly that they want to get rid of, or some extra weight, or fat that's restricting them, making them hide from pictures, share this with them, because it's a gift. And most people don't realize that this is possible, and they believe that you have to go get a tummy tuck. But all the pictures that you'll see behind us are no tummy tucks, no cutting of any sorts. There's no stitches afterwards. This is all liposuction, and it's all done while you're awake. It's pretty incredible.
Jordan, if you're still questioning about the whole reviews thing, this is Stacey. She's the one that's been posting quite a bit recently, and we've done 3 procedures on her. Okay, so and these are her photos that she posted into the group. So if you want actual real time, speak to somebody that's been a client, gone through the process, this is your opportunity. Jump on the group and connect with her. She's more than willing to help out.
So, Mommy Jacka, you're asking for a price range for upper and lower abdomen. So, look, we need to see a picture of you. And I hate, because, look, I've done this before where I give recommendations over these lives, and then people hold me to that word. And so I'm not making that mistake again. You have to get a consultation. We need to see pictures of you and determine what you exactly want before we give you a quote. Okay, so please do that. Up in the profile here on Instagram, you can click on the link to do the consultation. On Facebook, it's in our post up there.
And make sure you submit good photos that actually shows the area that you want done and the surrounding areas as well. I mean, keep them modest, but yet show us what you've got. I mean, because we want to give you the best results that we can, and so we've got to see everything, all right? We've been duped a couple of times, where the photos looked a certain way, and then people show up and we're like, oh, that's quite a bit different than what your photos look like. And it was mostly the lighting or the angles. So, take some great photos so that we can really assess your body type. So Charlie 4450, do you do other procedures besides lipo? No, we just do liposuction. Yeah. We don't do tummy tucks. We don't do breast augmentations with implants. We do breast augmentations with your own fat. It's called a fat transfer. We do BBLs with your own fat. It's a fat transfer to the buttocks. But no, we don't do any of the real invasive where you need general anesthesia.
We've chosen to become experts in our chosen field, specifically in liposuction, the removal of fat, and fat transfer, the putting your fat back in to different places. It's many of these plastic surgeons, you'll see they offer everything under the sun, and people that do everything are usually not good at much of anything. They're mediocre at most of the things that they do. So we've chosen to specifically focus our energy on becoming the best possible liposuction experts we can become.
So this young lady was one of my favorites. I think her shape just came out so amazing. Now I think she's like maybe a month post-op right here, but you can see the difference in the shape. See how this curves into the lower back right here? This looks a little wider down at the base, kind of looks like a tree trunk going up. And we didn't do anything to her boobs.
Or did we?
I don't remember.
I don't know. They look bigger, right?
They do look bigger though.
And they look like they're pointing up a little bit.
Yeah, it could be. I don't think we did. I don't know.
See, this is what we were talking about on Monday. How this optical illusion, when you make things smaller, the surrounding areas look slightly larger. And so this case, where you make the belly smaller, it makes the breasts look larger.
I'm pretty sure we didn't. And if we did, I'll stand corrected. But I think she had already had cosmetic enhancement upstairs. I think she had some implants. And look how just by removing the fat in the front makes these things look like we gave her a boob job. So I guess I don't know, it's a 2-for-1. Come get lipo and it'll make your boobs look like you got a boob job.
And similarly, when you get the waist done, the lower back and the waist, when you get the fat taken out of that area, it makes your butt look bigger. The girls call it the booty pop.
Charlie 4450, yes, Stacey does look good. She has made a commitment to her health, and it's been a process. It just hasn't been like an overnight thing. She continues to work out. She continues to eat healthy, and she's committed to the best investment that she can, that she's been given, which is her own body. Yeah. And she looks amazing.
You speak about investments. It's kind of like when you invest in yourself. You have a financial commitment now. And Ashley, she was on here earlier asking about coming back to get the procedure done again because she had gained weight. And so, if you think about from a dollars and cents standpoint, she had the procedure once, and just because she, did not live a healthier lifestyle and gained weight, now she's going to have to spend money again to get more fat sucked out, which is another financial commitment. So at some point, you might get tired of spending money on doing these procedures and take the time to follow the path and live a healthier lifestyle, not only for looking better, but more importantly for living a longer, healthier lifestyle. And being around for your grandkids and being able to do the things that you want to do. That's really what the goal is. So Mustang Sally's asking if we can share some more pictures of thighs.
What's up, Mustang Sally? She's on here every time. I'd like it whenever she posts.
Yeah. And Stacey's reminding us to drink plenty of water.
Absolutely. And for all of the Spanish speakers, I've really made a push to all of our Latin clientele recently to jump on the support group and share their experience in Spanish. So it's a little easier for you guys to understand all of the nuances and understand the whole process. If you want, go ahead and throw some questions out in Spanish and I can try and tackle them. I speak Spanish like a gringo, so feel free.
Now this might be kind of a little hard to tell because of the black, because you're wearing a compression garment in the after photo on the right side, or I don't know, whatever side that is. Yeah, this was recently. She got great results. She might actually be on here. Is there a max of how much you can take out, or do you go by pounds you desire off? Marie, so it's more of a safety issue than anything. We get very aggressive. We take a lot of fat off. It's not a specific number, but you can clearly tell from the results that we get a lot of fat out of people. We're going after results, and we do as much as we have to do to get the results that we want. But with that said, it's also very important that your body is able to tolerate the procedure, and that's what it's more planning on our part to make sure that we keep you within a safe limit.
Yeah, because we want to make sure that you have a great experience, okay, and we want to make sure that you can maximize your results, okay. It does nobody any favors to end up in an emergency department, or nobody's ever died from tumescent liposuction, but we want to make sure that this is the healthiest, safest procedure for you, so that you can go show your friends what you did, and live your best life.
Yeah, I don't know what the you're asking how much fat we got out of this thigh picture. Honestly, I don't know. We remove fat every day, so it's these numbers are.
Hey, what's going on, Raquel, in YouTube land? She's got a 360 in December. And she says, my experience was perfect.
Change the picture.
I love my shape
Complaining
lipo. And I think she says, I would love to get my chin next. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I was here for most of the procedures in December. I had some family issues happen, and I had to take off early, so I don't quite recognize your name, but if I saw a photo, I probably would.
So Kev says, what about men? Absolutely, men get liposuction. You have fat too.
Yeah.
It's just they don't share photos. And we have a few pictures. This is a man. He's overexposed, so it's hard to see. But this was a cool story. This gentleman, he was, most men in general are like hiding this from everybody. It's taboo in our society. So men try to hide it. But this gentleman was trying to hide it from everybody. However, he was unable to, and he was so happy with his results that he not only did he jump on our live the next day to start talking about it, but he sent us photos and told us that we can share his pictures with everybody because the results were phenomenal. So absolutely, men get liposuction. I've had liposuction. Kale's had liposuction. So it's definitely possible. Men are more likely they get in the abdomen and the chest or the chin. Those are the most common areas for the men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We did a no, not naming names, but we did a Catholic priest recently, and the thoughts that went through my mind was, why would a Catholic priest need liposuction? But for him, as I was working on him and we were having a conversation, for him it was a health thing as well as a body perception thing. So it was a confidence thing, and he knew that by getting healthier and decreasing his body habitus, that he's going to stave off a lot of the disease states that develop, like diabetes, hypertension, cholesterol problems. So yeah, I mean, listen, everybody's got a bunch of different whys, okay? But at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? We all have the same basic needs and same basic wants. And one of those things is you should want to be healthy for yourself, for your kids, for your posterity, so you can be around. You want your body image to be whatever it is for you, so that you can have confidence to go out and jump in a bathing suit and take your kids to the swimming pool. There's a lot of people that stay away from those social interactions, those social functions, because they don't like how they're perceived physically, and they have this insecurity. So let's change that for you.
So Nikki says, do you tell people to lose weight first? We do not. We do not tell people to lose weight first. And I've said this before, is we suck fat for a living, so it doesn't make sense to tell people to have less fat, because whatever you bring us, we'll take out. To get the results that we want, we're going to take out as much fat as we need to. Stacey says, you guys stop hesitating. Let this year be the year you change your life. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think Stacey's featured in our journeys section on the webpage. You can read about her story. I mean, she has some, she's had some interesting things happen to her in life. I mean, she was scheduled to get her third procedure, and I think her house flooded. And so they were staying in a hotel, but she didn't let that stop her. She still came out, and she got the procedure done, and she went through her recuperation phase, and she's still grinding at it. So she's kind of an inspiration.
So just so you guys are aware, all of these pictures that you're seeing behind us are not pictures that we've taken in our office. These are the actual individuals that have shared them publicly. So the pictures that they take, which is why the background is going to be, not consistent. The lighting is going to be inconsistent. Whether they're wearing clothes or not wearing clothes is going to be inconsistent. These are their photos. They're real people. And if you go on the private Facebook page, you can actually communicate with them directly and ask them for more photos if you want. Can't promise they'll give them to you, but you can ask.
So I think on Monday we talked about a girl that had some pretty amazing results. I just sent those photos to Granville. Let's see if Granville can pull them up, because she posted the side-by-side today on our group Facebook support group, and she looks absolutely amazing. She looks like two different people, and she's in her, I'm not gonna say how old she is, but she's a younger mom, and the confidence that she has in this like after photo is just unreal. So let's see if you can pull it up.
April Long asks location. So we're located in Las Vegas area, about 15-20 minutes from the airport. Do you know what this means? BL/BA. Long. How long after? I'm not sure what you mean, April, with the BL and BA.
Breast lift, breast augmentation.
Maybe, yeah. Okay,
How soon after? Well, I mean, it depends on what type of intervention you got. If they did like a big lollipop, augmentation, that's a little more invasive than just some of the smaller areas. But I don't know if it's within a couple of months, you get clearance from your medical doctor.
I think the concern, if we're not doing lipo in the same area, it's less of a concern, but the concern would be is if you had stitches or something that would potentially open up, that would be traumatizing the area, so that would be the concern.
Sure.
Stacey says, my booty pops.
Absolutely. Oh, here we go. So, World Meet Brittany Knowles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, young, cute, very youthful looking, but all this excess weight makes her look a little older. This is her, and we got super aggressive with her. She was one of those that she submitted her photos, and Trevor and I both looked at each other like, oh yeah, that'll be easy. And then once we got her on the table, we're like, oh wow, this is a little deceptive, and so we really had to work hard. And now look at her. She's absolutely flaunting it with this shirt that's kind of like goes up over the navel, low cut jeans, and it looks like maybe she got a boob job, but that's probably...
I think this is one of those illusions that when the belly gets smaller, the boobs look bigger. Okay, can you talk a little bit about arm procedures? Absolutely. So arm procedures, a lot of women, they don't like this, like when they wave, they get this like waddling of their arms. So liposuction is fantastic and it can get rid of that. Many women who have those arms believe, usually because of the plastic surgeons tell them, that you have to get the skin cut away or else you're gonna have this empty sack of skin, but you can clearly see here, there's no empty sack of skin. This is only liposuction, no arm lift. The procedure is amazing. I've treated my mom's arms about a decade ago almost. The results are really awesome. And typically when we do the arms, we'll also do that upper back area and the underarm area. We call that the front and back bra roll. This is Rebecca Rexroth. Cool thing you can see here is if you look closely, you'll notice that the sides in her underarm and her upper back are so much more narrow that you can actually see her boobs from the back. Kind of a cool thing, right?
Side boob.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Who doesn't like side boob?
Exactly, and a lot of times, so when we take that fat from that underarm area, with larger breasts, they tend to kind of roll into that armpit area. So when you take out the fat there, it literally defines the shape and makes it more of a teardrop shape, so we can define the shape of the breast. But you can see this is arms and upper back, back bra roll, front bra roll.
And I'd like to point out that this particular lady had a sister. She had such a great experience and she was so impressed that she referred her family members to us, and they both had amazing outcomes. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to throw out her name, but they both had just phenomenal results.
Hey, that Catholic guy, he was Canadian, wasn't he?
No, he was Brazilian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's someone here from Canada saying, can you easily go and see us? Absolutely. When I first started this practice over a decade ago, actually about 10% of our patients were coming from Canada at the time, and that's changed ever since. But absolutely, a lot of Canadians come. I know that there are not that many practitioners that do this up there, and the prices are a little absurd.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely it's Vegas. It's a cheap, quick flight to Vegas.
Rachel, she had her procedure back in December. She didn't get to meet me. I wasn't there. But to answer your question, if you want to submit your photos, your post-op photos to jot form, absolutely do so. Just email them, and then we'll try and get them, hooked up into our little system here. But yeah, jot form works really good. It's the same program that you use to submit your photos for your consultation.
Okay, so Rachel, Kayla's right, breast lift and breast augmentation. Okay, so yeah, it's just a matter of whether those sutures are in a position to where we would be stressing them out by doing the liposuction and potentially open up wounds. That's what we're concerned about. So the wounds need to be healed up appropriate enough. And that might be, 3 months, 6 months. It just depends on, how much trauma we're going to be putting on the area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what did Stacey say?
She said Spirit Airlines have 75% off flights.
Goodness.
Yeah. So Stacey also had her arms and upper back done as well.
And I think she said she's coming back for a 4th procedure.
Yeah, really?
I thought I saw that come up somewhere.
Okay, and who's this? Is this,
Yeah, she did.
is this Candy Lover?
Yes.
I know I recognize that.
Well,
Yeah, arms are awesome. Women tend to fill in these arms here. When you fill in the back part of the arms is when you put your arm down by the side, it bulges out right here, which makes it look like you're broad. And I always honestly I thought my mom was buff and like a tough mom when I was younger, until I did her arms, and then afterwards she has this now like very feminine look to her. And so, taking the fat off the arms is a great procedure. And I know a lot of women have a hard time fitting into shirts because their arms are too big. And if that's your problem, it's really easy to fix that. And you don't have to live like that anymore.
What's going on, Dari?
Even those people that have the arms hanging down, Granville, you want to show some pictures of the sagging arms?
Yes.
The bat wings?
Yeah, so most people are concerned about the hanging skin on the arms, and then if we take the fat out, plastic surgeons say you're going to have an empty sac of skin, which clearly is not the case. And this is an extreme example right here. Larger patient, she has those big hanging arms. We got, what was it, like 3 liters out of, is it each arm?
No, we don't talk about liters.
Yeah, we got a lot out of her, a lot out of her. But you can see, the cool thing about this is you can see how well the skin retracts back. And how does that work? Why don't you just have an empty sac of skin hanging? Well, it works like this. You take the fat out, and now you have a space between the skin and the muscle. And that space doesn't remain. What happens, we put compression garments on, we close down the space, and then over the next couple weeks, the body forms scar tissue. And the scar tissue works kind of like glue. It sticks everything together. And so that's where you can get the skin to retract back and tighten up and adhere now to the under layers. And scar tissue is a good thing and it's a bad thing. So it's a good thing because it helps tighten the skin up like that, but it's a bad thing when it causes adhesions and irregularities, and that's possible as well.
Yep, or fibrosis, is what some people call it.
Right.
So Dari, I think she got 2 procedures done. Dari, thanks for jumping in. How's Southern California?
Stacey says yes. As soon as her house is done, she'll be back for her 4th procedure, her chin.
Nah, the girl stays.
Cynthia, yes, Canadians are more than welcome. You just fly right over.
Absolutely.
And you stay for, so typically the people coming from out of state, and just so you're aware, about 80% of our patients are flying in from out of state. So, it's essentially the same thing. You're just out of state. You'll be flying in here. So you fly in at least the night before, so make sure that you get to your procedure on time, and you're going to want to stay for about 48 hours after the procedure. Some people may choose to stay a little bit longer. And for those of you that are coming from out of state, maybe you might be wanting to come by yourself. There is now the option. We have a recovery house available that you can stay at. And it's a pretty reasonable rate.
Just got over COVID, Dari did, but her arms are looking great. I wish we had a picture of Dari's photos, because she looked great after she left.
You gotta post some pictures to the group, Dari. So I had my chin done, and I did 10 massages. I have fibrosis, do I continue my massages? My doc told me it will.
It will
It will what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fibros?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Chin lipo with 10 massages. That's crazy. It sounds like you had the procedure done somewhere else, because I think I would have heard about this if it were our patient. Oh, she said, will it go away on its own?
So your body's going to continue to like remodel the scar tissue for the better part of a year. So if it's, you know, at the year mark, that's kind of where it's going to end up.
Now, with that said, the scar tissue causes adhesions, but the adhesions can be stretched. So particularly with the chin, what you'll notice is you'll get these adhesions on the neck. So when you bring your neck back like this, you can see the adhesions on the skin. So by stretching those out, you're stretching the tissue. So that's pushing yourself to your limits and stretching that tissue. It will start to accommodate and look more natural and normal. And that's possible. I've seen it done. I've done it to myself. So it's definitely possible, and particularly with the chin, you may want to consider doing more of that, is the stretching. You'll notice that a lot on the arms as well. So when you get your arms done, when you raise up and you stretch the area, you'll see where the adhesions occur. You'll also see that on the stomach. All this is just the scar tissue adhering to the skin below, below the skin. And when you stretch it, it adheres and it'll pull. So that's where you'll see some irregularities caused by the scar tissue.
So Ms. Nana 27 asks, is one awake while doing abdominal lipo? Yes, you're awake the entire time with all of our procedures. We do not use general anesthesia. You do not go under, as they say. We inject the medication right into the fat and we work on you while you're awake. And that's a good way for us to make sure that this is a safe procedure for you and make sure that we can get the results that we need and make sure that you're doing well.
Yeah, so Gloria, I think Gloria's coming, would she say next week? She says she's flying from Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. So I mean, lots of people are flying in, so don't be scared. And Canada's not that far. We like our Canadians.
And Vegas has made it really, really easy to fly into Vegas and lose money. So
Vegas has made that easy for everywhere.
Don't fall into that trap. Don't go to the casinos and donate money. Come and change your life. Come get some liposuction and let's change your perception on how you look.
Did I tell you about that patient when she was here? Her husband, while she's getting the procedure, her husband hits a jackpot and wins $10,000. Yeah, enough to pay for the procedure.
So if you get lipo, is it likely the fat will form in other parts of the body? So Charlie, once we take out those fat cells from that area that we're treating, if you continue to increase your caloric intake, eat unhealthy, and your body has an excess of fuel, it's going to store it where you have fat cells, okay? So if we treated the front of your abdomen, we're not going to take all of the fat cells out. We're going to take the majority of them out. If you haven't treated your lower back and side and love handles, yeah, those are going to get bigger, and your back is going to get fuller, absolutely. So after you do your procedure, try and stay healthy, try and maintain a diet, commit to your health. And then that way, other parts don't look disproportionate.
Right. So again, this goes back to the key of you have to change your lifestyle. And so if you're concerned about these things, that's why it's imperative that you change your lifestyle so that these things don't happen to you. Otherwise, they'll happen to you. Absolutely, they will happen to you. And you saw earlier, Ashley Brown, she had her procedure, I'm not sure how long ago, but she didn't maintain her weight. She gained weight, and now she's looking to get liposuction again. And she's going to be spending money again. So that should not happen. You shouldn't have to do that. If you maintain your weight and you maintain your lifestyle, that shouldn't happen. So don't ask this question because you're anticipating that you're going to gain weight afterwards. You need to start considering and thinking how you can maintain your weight and not have that problem in the future. That should not be a problem, and it's something that is 100% under your control.
So Ashley, that's why I like working with this guy. He's super intense. We understand that life does happen, and sometimes there's some stressors. We get it. Nobody's judging for putting on that extra, but if we need to help you and intervene, yeah, come back.
I'm not trying to be hard on her, but it's a good
I like him.
It's an example, in any way that you can inspire people, whether it's the good or the bad. If you can inspire people in a positive way, I think that's helpful. And Ashley, whatever happened, I'm not pretending to understand, but whatever happened, it is what it is. And now hopefully you can be an example to other people to help them to focus and improve their lifestyle. That's really the key.
Honeydip 216, taking photos tonight so I can schedule a consultation. Absolutely, that a girl. Listen, whenever whatever you're thinking about comes up and you're exposed to it and you're motivated, the best thing to do is act on it. Otherwise, you'll be, like so many of our other things that we do in life, we just put it off and we procrastinate. But if this is something that's super important to you, it's super important to us, that's why we do it. Commit to your health, and when you feel inclined or you see inspiration, like what we've got going on through here, make the commitment. Jump on the computer, take your photos, submit them, and then let's set up a time where we can talk and let's discuss where your goals are at.
Jordan Rojas, are you doing your consultations in person? Right now we're doing everything virtually. If you are local and it's something that, weird situation that you want us to see, we can make that happen for you. But in most cases, we don't need to see you in person. We've done thousands and thousands of these procedures, and in most cases, we can give you an accurate quote and assessment over the phone with pictures.
So Charlie 4450 says, I'm glad you guys are promoting lifestyle change. I really don't hear people promoting that. Yeah, you know what? In fact, Charlie, that's an interesting concept because that's where the American society is at, right? That's why we're having so many problems with our health and healthcare is so expensive, is because nobody's really addressing it and taking charge and saying, hey, listen, you're unhealthy. You need to get healthy. You need to, stop developing diabetes as a whole. You need to, let's get rid of the cigarettes and how many disease states would we prevent from just getting rid of the cigarettes? So that, that's our motivation. We're here to change people's lives and make them live the best life, or help them live the best life that they can. And by promoting all aspects of health, you're just going to be a better individual.
So I have other colleagues that are in this industry, and their mindset is actually, why would I help them to improve their diet? Because if they don't, they're going to come back and give me more money to fix the stuff. And that's not in my mindset at all. I want to get the absolute best results the first time, and then you maintain them. And if you do that, you're like a walking billboard for me. And so you're going to influence other people. So I'd rather get 5 or 10 other people than have that one person come back. And the truth is what normally happens is our patients are so happy with one procedure that they want to come get the procedure on other parts of their body. And that's, you'll see like Stacey, she's coming back for her 4th procedure. None of these procedures were done on the same part of the body. It's all different parts of the body. So our patients come back not for revisions, they come back to get new work done. And then when they're done with their whole body, hopefully they're so happy and everybody notices that their confidence is everything's great, that all their friends and family come as well. Mm-hmm. That's where we've had our success. Say, do you do J plasma with lipo? So J plasma, let me explain for what people that don't know what that is. It's a plasma, almost like a torch that you use underneath the skin. Have you seen these mm-hmm. like videos? It's like a heats the undersurface of the skin, and it's meant for skin tightening. We don't use J plasma. However, it's similar technology as a smart lipo laser. It's an energy source that heats up the undersurface of the skin, causing that contraction and stimulating collagen growth, which we've gotten phenomenal results with. So again, we don't use a J plasma, but we do use a smart lipo for the skin tightening.
So Granville, can you pull up that one picture where there was the two weights that were associated, 2 weights listed? One was like 258 and the other one was like 236 on that one patient. We've got somebody that's saying, how many liters are you guys able to take out, and what are those liters in pounds? Listen, I have no idea. Everybody's fat consistency is different. Some of it is denser than others, and we don't really measure our results based on how many pounds you drop on the scale. But what we do measure is how you look. Nope, not this one.
The one, the
real big one. That had the side view in like the summer dress, and she had the really low hanging pannus that went from side to side. She posted her weight on there. We did not post it, but she dropped down. I mean, it says 250 something down to 236, which would only infer that maybe there's like a 22 pound or 20 something pound difference there. But just look visually at what's going on, right? She's got this big ridge hiding underneath there, okay? And I understand that this is a black dress. I get it. But she's closer to the screen of what she's taking. So in essence, she should be bigger because of where she's taking the photo, but you can still tell that she's smaller in comparison to this one. So, I mean, what did the numbers actually mean?
She says no. I was actually wondering this. Maybe she's wearing a faja under there, but it actually says no faja.
No faja. So what do the numbers mean? Who cares?
Right. It's about results.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to be shopping around at where you're going to go to based off of the volume that they remove, then your head's in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're missing the boat.
Yeah. Cynthia, do you do several parts at a time, meaning arms and legs at the same session? So I personally don't like to do that. We have done it, and there are situations, but I like to address the body in like 3 different levels. So like the upper body, and that would be like the arms, the front brow roll, back brow roll, the chin, the buffalo hump back here, and it takes care of the upper third of the body, or the midsection. So in the midsection, we're taking care of that hanging belly, we're creating an hourglass figure, and we're shaping the butt. And then the lower body, we're doing like inner thighs, knees, outer thighs, perhaps calves and ankles, maybe even full thighs. And those would be, I'd like to to do them together because the primary reason is the compression garment it covers those areas. And I like to do all the stuff in one general area, meaning the lower body, the midsection, or the upper body, do it all together because you get the biggest, most dramatic change when you focus on a specific, third of the body.
And here's another thought. So when you see these patients that go off into like, the Dominican Republic or wherever, and they have this full body liposuction, one of the risks that they undertake is they have to travel back home, and they're on a plane and they're hurting in multiple areas of their body, and so their propensity to develop a pulmonary emboli or DVT in the lower extremity is very high. So we don't want to make life so uncomfortable that you just go home and you plop on your bed and you don't move, because that's risky. We want you up, moving around so that your circulation comes back. So because the circulation also helps with healing. So yeah, I mean, there are some occasions where we do several areas, like Trevor said, but to do like a full body liposuction, no, we don't think it's safe. So there you have it.
So, the interesting thing, someone just pointed out that this is a 20-pound difference. However, that does not look like 20 pounds. It looks way more than 20-pound reduction, way more. And again, stop looking at the numbers because they're not that important. It's about the look, but more importantly, it's about how the person feels. So many of these pictures you're going to start seeing with these individuals, you'll look at the before picture and you'll look at the after picture. And the before picture, they have some like frowns and look all sad and depressed. And the after picture, they're smiling and happy, and they love themselves. And it's a big difference. That's the difference. That's the difference. I noticed here Stacey's husband's on, Max Pierre, and he says, "Y'all did a great job with my wife, Stacey." That's awesome. I love hearing that when husbands say we did a good job, because husbands are usually like, "You don't need this. It's not, you don't need to do this." And in most cases, it's money, right?
That motivation is definitely financial. Yeah, absolutely.
But when a husband says, "You guys did a great job and I'm happy," that is worth it. Because
yeah, in the case of we just brought her up, North Dakota. Anyway, there was one particular case where she said that she was having real confidence issues, and her husband said, no, listen, you don't need it. And she was just like in this funk, in this depression. And then he came to her and said, hey, listen, go do your thing, go do you, get right, get your mind right. And I think that their marriage has improved just because of where her mental status is at, as a direct correlation of having had liposuction. So that was Brittany, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Brittany Knowles.
So where are we? We're in Las Vegas, Nevada. Actually in Henderson, which is connected to Las Vegas. It's all one thing. You fly into Vegas and stay at a hotel. There's plenty of hotels here. Lots of Uber drivers and Lyfts and taxis to get you around. So it's easy to come here and get a procedure done and enjoy some sights, and it's very, very carefree and very easy.
So Kelly's World.
Is fat transfer to the breast okay to do? I hear a lot of people say that it doesn't last due to the fat cells. Well, Kelly, listen, every body system is dynamic in its own right. And what I will tell you is we've had some amazing results as far as fat transfer. Now, fat transfer to the breast. Now, listen, you got to keep this in mind too. You're right, they're fat cells, okay? And as you age, okay, your body is going to change. That is a constant, okay? So yeah, if you put silicone implants in there, they're probably going to stay there for however long, whether they recommend 10 years or something like that, but you're going to need a revision on them, okay? And so you're going to have 2 surgeries.
More cost.
More cost, okay? But your body's going to age and you're going to lose fat. A lot of older people start losing it in the face and the cheekbones start to become more prominent. That's just life, okay? So, I mean, how long is it going to last for you? I don't know. I don't know. It just depends. But we've had great results with our fat transfers to the boobs, and people love them. And it's very non-invasive, and it gives that breast that natural look, the volume. We restore the volume. A lot of women get it after having kids and breastfeed, and it restores that volume. They're able to wear those form-fitting dresses that show cleavage, and they move naturally, and they just, I don't know, they're amazing. I think it's amazing.
Yeah, I did fat transfer to my wife's breasts, and they're still good. How big? See the difference. The difference between implants and fat transfer is it's not. Fat transfer is not as consistent. So when you do a implant, you're getting this nugget. It's a specific. It's 400 cc's, and it's under there, and you're just getting this little sack, and it stays there. It's exactly the way they put it. So you have consistency with the fat transfer. We don't, you do get some loss. However, the advantage is it's natural looking and feeling, and you don't have any big scars, and the fat lasts forever. It's your fat. So your fat does what it does. If you gain weight, you lose weight, it's gonna respond the same way.
Also, Kelly, I don't know if you paid attention to what's going on in the celebrity world, but the trend is to get their implants removed and just kind of go back to natural. So.
See, Holly says you're 5 months out on fat transfer to the breast, and the fat transfer to the breast is holding up and looking great still.
Not a girl.
Good. Max is saying she's happy about it, confident, she loves it, loves it.
Listen, the real question is does she get you out there and exercise with her? Is she holding you accountable too? Because listen, in a marriage, it's 2 parts. So if she's like, getting her body right and investing in herself, is she bringing you along for the ride and making sure that you're being held accountable? That's the question, Max.
It's I think so. It's inspirational. Whenever people around you are improving themselves, and even though there's people that will discourage them, if they can push past it, it's inspiring. And I'm speaking from experience because I've pushed myself far beyond my limits, and I know that I've inspired people around me, and they don't say it up front. But after a year or two, and they come to me and they say, hey, you really inspired me, doing whatever I was doing that inspired them, and it's amazing, it's fun, and that's what you get to do, is you get to pay it forward and help others around you. So Cynthia says, is it possible to do fat transfer to the breast without lifting, and is it a high risk? So fat transfer is your fat. It's fairly low risk. It's your fat, so it's highly likely that your body accepts everything the way it should. Obviously, there's some risks to every procedure, and in a minority of time, things don't happen the way we want them to happen. However, in most cases, it's a good procedure, very, very safe. Now, regarding doing the lifting, so when we do the fat transfer, it's not like the cutting thing where we're actually pulling the skin up, so we don't do that. However, we can add volume in the upper pole of the chest here, which makes it appear that the breast sits up higher. So it just gives you more volume. So then when you use your push-up bras, it creates the cleavage that you have, and you just have more volume up top. And typically it's the volume up top that women lose with the breastfeeding. They get these breasts that kind of like slope. So that's the thing that can be solved with the fat transfer, and it's very natural looking and feeling. So it's a great procedure. Martina, you want to get an in-person evaluation. So what I would suggest is get the virtual consultation first. If you have some abnormal things and you know things that we aren't able to address specifically over the phone, then I have no problem doing that. But it would be, you know, like we're busy, and so it would behoove us to really take the first channel and try and get some pictures and evaluate you over the phone first. And if you want to come to the office, we can do that.
Oh, Stacey sends a public shout out to her husband. Let me say thank you to my husband, Max, for supporting me. That a girl.
And she says they both work out together.
That a girl.
Yeah, you gotta support.
Hold him accountable. Absolutely. Us guys, us spouses, we oftentimes get lazy, and sometimes we need a prodding from our better half. Absolutely.
You know, I've said before this rule that you are the 5 closest people that you spend time with. So, you know, when you are stretching yourself, you tend to inspire other people and lift them up. So you got to surround yourself with other people that also lift you up, because it's not easy. So when you're supporting each other, it helps the whole boat rises.
Erica Coleman says, do we have a certain BMI requirement? No, we don't. We look at your body, we consider your health, we look at what your goals are, and we decide if it's going to be a good thing for you, and most of the time it is. I mean, how can removing a significant amount of adipose tissue that really doesn't do anything, how can that not improve your body habitus overall? So no, we don't have a BMI, and we think it's healthy for everybody.
Stacey, thanks for jumping on. She's got to go, but we appreciate you. And she says anybody that wants to connect with her, you're welcome to. Cynthia, she said you're welcome, thank you. And is the procedure done? Is it the long waiting? So it's not a long waiting. You know, we're a team here. We're highly functional, and we can take care of a lot of people. So the procedures are about a month out right now. As I say, do you require massages after lipo?
So we don't require them, but what we found is overall they've been helping significantly. Okay, so nobody can require you to do anything, right? Most of our patients come from out of town. We leave it up to them. We put the onus on them to find their own lymphatic masseuse, and some people need several sessions, and some people didn't need any. You know, I did lipo on my wife. I was very invasive. I took out a lot of fat from her, and you know, she didn't get a single lymphatic massage. So, and she turned out great. So, I mean, it just depends on your body type and how your body is healing.
Yeah, lymphatic massages are great, but they're more of a fad recently, that people are saying that it's a necessity with liposuction. It's certainly not a necessity. I've done it for about a decade, and you know, people didn't even know what a lymphatic massage was. So it's definitely possible to get good results without the lymphatic massage. Now, the question is it make things quicker, better, easier for recovery? That might be possible. I don't know that for sure. I haven't seen any studies, but a lot of people like it. So the people that like it, they talk about it and say that it's very beneficial.
So this is my wife right here. Interesting story with her. I didn't really give her like a whole lot of lead time. I said, come on, let's go do lipo. And she goes, wait, what? We didn't talk about this. I go, yeah, I know. Let's go down right now and let's put you on the table and let's do your procedure. And, you know, she had no time to prep mentally. We went down. It took her a couple of days to recoup. And ever since then, every day has gotten better. And she just absolutely, you know, loves the decision that I, you know, basically just kind of sprung on her to go do it. And so, yeah. It's good, and her confidence is amazing, and we, you know, one of the things that I'll address and I'll admit to, because I'm a human, you know, I was working night shift, okay, and if anybody's ever worked night shift, i.e. in, you know, nurses or whoever in the medical field, you know, you tend to eat a lot, and the reason that you do is it stimulates you, okay, and you can stay awake, you feel like you can stay awake, but man, your cortisol levels get off, your sleep level, you know, numbers get off. And so it's bad for your body, stresses out your body. And so I put on some excess weight. So I was afraid, well, I had this insecurity that I didn't really want to go swimming with my kids, you know, and when I did, I would always wear like a swim shirt, right? Not that I was like huge or anything, but in my self-perception, of being, somewhat athletic growing up and into my early 20s and 30s. I didn't like going swimming with my kids, and my wife was kind of in that same boat. And so, it's nice to be able to, intervene on her behalf. We decided to get healthy. We revamped our lifestyle. And now, vacations, family vacations, we're not afraid to go to the pool, and it's fun and it's enjoyable, and we're not self-conscious about it. So there you go. That's the human side of what we do.
Okay. So Cynthia, we take out a lot of fat. I don't know what the highest volume is, but we do some large individuals. And again, we don't restrict people on BMI. I mean, we get very, very large patients up into 350 pounds, and we get a ton of fat off them, enough to make big, big changes.
So Education Explorer SHCC. I hope that's an educator. Sounds like it might be. She says that she is concerned about uploading her birthday or her photos of herself in her birthday suit onto a website. Totally agree. We don't require you to be in your birthday suit. What we like you to do is jump into a bikini where it covers the intimate areas, but it still gives us a very good understanding and visualization of what your body habitus is and the areas that you want us to work on. So we can gauge how much work is there and how we're going to go about it, and we can discuss all of that with you. So stay modest, okay? Because we've had this in the past where we've gotten some pretty amazing photos. We could probably start an OnlyFans page with some of the stuff that we've gotten, but stay modest, because we want to see the areas that you're concerned about, but we have to see them.
Yeah,
so
if you're covering up, it doesn't work. But what you can do, what other people have done, is you can modify the pictures and put something over your face, cover your boobs, cover your privates, but just don't cover the areas that we need to see. We have to see the abdomen, the whole fold where it's folding over. We have to see that. If you're pulling your underwear up and covering your belly, it's not helping us, and we're not going to be able to do our job. We're just about done here. If there's any other quick questions, say, is it possible to do tight and arm lipo in the same day? I think you mean thigh. So it is possible to do thigh and arm liposuction in the same day. Like I said, I typically don't like to jump around and do different parts of the body, but it is possible. So
Cynthia Barroso,
yeah,
she says, where do we send pictures? You send them to the Jot form.
Up in the posts here on Facebook, there's a link. You just click on the link, and it'll take you through the process, ask you some questions, and you upload the photos right there. All right.
Esmeralda Ramirez 2263, thanks for jumping in. We're almost at the end of what we're we're actually 10 minutes over. But yeah, we're gonna post these videos on our social media so that you guys can go back and watch them if you're interested, if you didn't tune in time. And we discussed a lot about liposuction. We discussed lifestyle, we discussed motivation and investing into your body. So good stuff. Get your stuff submitted to us. Right now is your moment where you're motivated, and we're presenting the information, and this is going to be the best time for you to get committed to yourself. Yep. So jump onto these different links and get your photos submitted, and let us talk to you, and let's discuss what your goals are.
Yep. When you're ready to change your life, we're looking for people that are right at that point, that crux of transformation, where it's time to you can't keep living the way you're living, and it's time to change. And then once you're at that point, you'll do anything to make your changes happen. And so liposuction, it's a little more dramatic, but that's what people are looking for. And what I found is this as a catalyst is to get people on their transformation. We get you big change quickly, which motivates you and pushes you forward on your journey. Now, if you're ready, the next step is getting your consultation. Up on Facebook, you click on that link in that post there. Up on Instagram, it's in the profile. On YouTube, it should be up in the profile as well. The links are on our website, myshapelipo.com. So when you're ready, you got to get your consultation done first, figure out what the price is, and then you can go ahead and move forward with the procedure.
So Jacqueline asked, can anyone with diabetes, probably wanted to follow up with get the procedure? Absolutely, we treat a lot of diabetics. Trishelle, I think it's Trishelle. I think that's how you say it, even though it's spelled Terashelle. So lymphatic massages are not necessary. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying that it helps oftentimes in a lot of cases. Just sometimes some people don't need them.
Yeah. So, All right, thank you so much for watching. If you're ready, now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity in front of you. We're sucking lots of fat out of people, making these huge dramatic change. You see all these pictures flashing behind here. This is like the fireworks show at the end. You get to see all the pictures. But we do appreciate you stopping by here today, asking those questions. And when you're ready, get that consultation and move forward with the life transformation. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.